Hey, what's up guys? If you've been riding a DRZ for any significant amount of time, especially if it's an old bike, you might have encountered an issue trying to start your motorcycle up one day. So one of the most common problems with a DRZ not starting up is when you hear this dreadful click, and I'm going to play the sound right now. To understand why the bike doesn't work, you need to understand the source of that click. That click is basically when your battery is trying to go from here all the way down through the relay, through the carbon brush to start your starter motor. So that click you hear is when the starter motor is unable to receive a voltage from your battery and it does not turn. And that in turn does not run or turn over your engine and try and start it up. You realize that everything else, your dash, your lights, they all work, with the only exception that your bike just doesn't start. So to remedy this, it's a pretty simple affair. The issue is coming from this thing in your starter motor called the carbon brush. Now, there is really no other way to fix it other than replacing the carbon brush. You don't really need to replace the entire starter motor. Some people, they waste the money buying an entirely new starter motor, and that costs like 800 bucks. But there's a cheaper way, which is to just buy a new carbon starter brush and then repair the starter motor with that. The carbon brush only costs like 80 bucks in Singapore. And the reason why this carbon brush isn't allowing the starter motor to run is because there is this little tips on the inside of the ring that constitutes that carbon brush. And over time, as the bike ages, as the bike is started over and over and over and over again, that little pieces that make contact with the rest of your starter gets worn off, and they no longer make contact with the motor, causing that awfully dreaded click that you all worry about. Now, how do you do a temporary fix for it so that you can get the bike running temporarily until you fix it, or you just want to ride the bike to a workshop to buy the part, is quite simple. All you need to do is just take a screwdriver, something with a bit more weight to it, and use the butt of it and just tap the starter motor somewhere around here, and this basically knocks the carbon brush directly into contact with the rest of the starter motor and basically allows you to start the bike. And once you've started the bike, you can probably use it until the carbon brush itself starts losing contact again with the rest of the starter motor. Then you just hit it again and carry on. Of course, this isn't a long-term solution, as eventually it just gets too worn out for it to be usable. But while this method is usable, probably the wearing out hasn't gotten that bad yet, so you've probably got at least a couple weeks to do so, to get that carbon brush changed. So if this little tip is useful for you, do remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, links are in the description below. Hit the subscribe button and bell icon. If you'd like to support my channel monetarily, you can also do down in the description below as well. Links are all there, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. It's really hot here.